wake up and check your phone. Another day, another flood of images, pouting lips, perfect angles, filters, stories. But these aren't just images, they're weapons. They're the new scripture of an age obsessed with itself. And at the center of this swirling digital storm is the female ego, growing, glowing, unchecked. Otto Weininger saw it before the rest of us. He warned that the core trait of the feminine is not nurturing, not humility, but narcissism, a relentless self-obsession that swallows reality whole. And now, in the era of social media, his warning is prophecy. Women have built a temple to their own image. Every post, every like, every DM fuels an ego that was never meant to be worshipped, only kept in check. You think you're just scrolling, but you're participating in a ritual. You are feeding the beast that devours your own sense of worth. The world tells you this is empowerment, but Weininger saw the truth. It's the rise of a feminine narcissism so vast it crowds out everything else. Authenticity, humility, the masculine principle itself. Men, you are becoming bystanders in your own lives. You are spectators in a theater where the star is her image, her attention, her drama. You cheer, you like, you validate, and you disappear. Your role? To prop up the stage, never to write the script. This is not evolution. This is regression. The mirror never lies. And right now, it reflects a world where men serve as accessories to the great cult of feminine self-worship. But you can't blame the algorithm. You can't blame the market. Blame the blindness that has led you to kneel instead of stand. The first step out is to see the mirror for what it is, a prison, not a portal. The rise of the female ego is not your destiny, it's your wake-up call. Otto Weininger is not fashionable. He's not soft. He's not apologetic. He looked into the abyss of the human soul and found something most men today are too cowardly to admit, that the modern world has been hijacked by the cult of the feminine, and at the heart of that cult is narcissism. Self-obsession is not just a personality flaw, it's a social disease. Weininger wrote that the feminine is absorbed in its own image, incapable of true self-reflection. This isn't just about vanity, it's about a structural incapacity to care for truth, meaning, or depth. And now, that disease has gone viral. Every time a woman posts a selfie for validation, every time she turns life into performance, every time she places her own desires above reality, you are witnessing Weininger's nightmare unfold. Women don't need men to worship them anymore. They have technology, they have culture, they have a world that bends to their image. But what have you become? You have become the audience to her one-woman show. You have become the supporting cast, applauding as she loses herself in the mirror. The warning is clear. If you let feminine narcissism set the agenda, masculinity will always be in retreat. Your courage, your truth, your creativity, these become dangerous, unwanted, even toxic. Why? Because they threaten the smooth surface of the feminine ego. Weininger didn't hate women. He pitied men for losing themselves in the worship of the feminine. If you want your soul back, heed his warning. Do not bow to narcissism. Do not feed it. Expose it. Challenge it. Outgrow it. The age of female narcissism is the age of masculine silence, and your silence is the only thing that can keep it alive. Ask yourself, what does she truly crave? It's not love, it's not partnership, it's validation, the raw, cheap dopamine of approval, of attention, of being seen and adored. Otto Weininger understood this before anyone could swipe right or double tap. Feminine narcissism is addiction, and validation is the drug. Every like, every comment, every hungry glance is another hit, another fix that numbs her to reality, to accountability, to the challenge of actual self-knowledge. But who are the pushers in this economy of validation? You are. Men, the world over, have become validation dealers, handing out their worth like candy, hoping for scraps of affection in return. And she's hooked on the thrill of being wanted, not the reality of being worthy. The result is a culture of endless affirmation, where self-reflection dies and real connection is impossible. This is the new opium, and it is poisoning both sides. You think you gain power by giving her what she craves, but in truth, you become weaker. The more you worship, the more you vanish. Your own standards dissolve. Your own dreams wither. You trade your birthright for a handful of virtual approval. Otto Weininger warned that feminine narcissism is a trap with no exit. The more validation you give, the more she demands. The more you chase, the less you become. And in the end, you will hate yourself for playing a game that you can never win. The only way out is to go cold turkey. Cut off the supply. Stop validating the image and start seeking reality. The world needs men who are immune to the addiction. Men who are dealers in truth, not approval. There's a brutal honesty in Weininger's work, an honesty that our age has lost. He saw that beauty in the hands of a narcissistic woman is not a gift, it is a weapon. Today, beauty is currency, traded, displayed, weaponized for power. The marketplace of desire is rigged, and men have become the pawns. You think you choose, but you are chosen. You think you pursue, but you are pursued. Into servitude, into impotence, into silence. The modern woman knows her value, not in virtue, not in character, but in the image. She polishes it, sells it, wields it like a sword. And you, conditioned by culture, by comfort, by your own fear, become her target. You crave her approval, and so you surrender your power. But this is not the way of men. This is not the code of kings, warriors, or creators. Otto Weininger saw that when men make beauty their god, they make themselves slaves. The cult of her image is a cult of your destruction. The more you chase, the more she controls. The more you obey, the more you are broken. Weaponized beauty is not just about attraction. It is about control. It is about shaping reality to fit her ego, her narrative, her will. You become the mirror that reflects her image, never the fire that forges your own destiny. Wake up, man. See the game for what it is. Withdraw your power, reclaim your standards, and let her beauty be a passing spark, not the fire that consumes your life. Look around you. Where do men find their worth? Not in their achievements, not in their character, but in her gaze. The modern man has become an accessory to the cult of the feminine image, measured, weighed, and discarded based on how well he pleases her. You have been trained to seek approval, to beg for validation, to orient your life around her needs, her moods, her desires. You have become a background character in the drama of her self-worship. Otto Weininger warned that the feminine narcissist seeks not a partner, but a mirror. A man who will reflect her beauty, her status, her importance back to her endlessly. And you, in your hunger to be loved, have agreed to this role. But this is not love. This is servitude. The modern male is shackled, not by force, but by his own fear of being unwanted. You have accepted her gaze as your judge, your jury, your god. The cost? You have lost your mission, your focus, your fire. You have traded the adventure of manhood for the safety of her approval. You have given up the right to lead, to build, to conquer, just so you can be chosen. But being chosen is not the same as being a man. The masculine principle is about creation, not reflection. About leadership, not validation. About standing alone, not begging to be seen. If you want to break the shackles, you must first stop worshipping her gaze. Let her seek your approval. Let her orbit your fire. Stop playing the background and step into the light. Empowerment. They shout it from every rooftop, print it on every t-shirt, brand it into the soul of every girl. But Otto Weininger would have laughed. He saw the truth behind the myth. Empowerment in this age is not about rising above. It's about sinking deeper into narcissism. What does empowerment mean today? It means validation without virtue, power without responsibility, glory without greatness. Women are taught to see themselves as goddesses, untouchable, flawless, forever deserving. The result: a generation of idols who cannot stand to be questioned, cannot bear to be denied, cannot love without needing to be worshipped. But what happens to men in a world of idols? You become worshippers. You become the priests of a religion that kills your own soul. You spend your days making offerings at the altar of her empowerment, hoping for a blessing, fearing a curse. Otto Weininger saw that the idolization of the feminine destroys the masculine. When women become goddesses, men become slaves. You lose your power, your purpose, your pride. You forget that a real man does not worship. He creates, he builds, he conquers. The myth of empowerment is a lie that feeds the cult of feminine narcissism. It turns women into idols and men into worshippers. It kills love and breeds resentment. Wake up, smash the idol, refuse to bow. Empowerment is not something she owns. It is something you take for yourself through mastery, courage, and will. There is a new economy, and you are its currency. It is not gold or oil or technology. It is attention. In the cult of the feminine image, attention is everything, and men are bankrupting themselves to pay the price. Every glance, every message, every ounce of focus you give is fuel for her ego. You spend your days working, striving, creating, only to pour your power into the black hole of her validation. She grows rich, you grow empty. She ascends, you descend. Otto Weininger would have called this madness. He understood that the more you feed feminine narcissism, the more you starve your own soul. The economy of attention is rigged against you. It rewards passivity, punishes ambition, and destroys the masculine drive to build, to lead, to conquer. Who pays the price? You do. In lost confidence, wasted energy, abandoned dreams, the world needs men who are rich in attention, not beggars for scraps of female approval. Stop spending your power. Start investing it in yourself, in your mission, in your brothers. The real economy is built on creation, not consumption. Attention is the seed of greatness. Do not give it away to those who do not deserve it. Break free from the economy of attention. Build your own empire. Once, men led. Once, men pursued, built, conquered, and claimed. But now men court, and then men cuckold themselves, willingly, desperately, pathetically, just to stay in her orbit. The pedestal became a prison. The very traits that made men great, ambition, confidence, strength, have been shamed, tamed, and broken. You have been taught that leadership is toxic, that assertiveness is abuse, that desire is sin. So you kneel, you plead, you betray yourself at the altar of her happiness. Otto Weininger saw this before it was fashionable. He saw that when men abandon leadership, they abandon manhood. The cockhold is not just a sexual humiliation. It is the spiritual death of masculine leadership. It is the moment you decide that her happiness matters more than your mission, her comfort more than your code. The result? A generation of nice guys, of doormats, of broken kings who gave away their thrones. And the tragedy is this: women do not respect the man who kneels. They crave the man who stands, the man who leads, the man who commands his destiny. You are not born to be her pet. You are born to be her equal, her challenger, her inspiration. Courtship is the art of winning, not begging. Leadership is the mark of kings. Stop cuckolding yourself. Reclaim the right to lead. You have lived your whole life inside a matriarchy of the mind, a system that rewards obedience, punishes initiative, and shames strength. You have been told to seek approval, to apologize for desire, to fit into a world built around her needs. Otto Weininger named this system. He saw that the cult of the feminine does not need laws or armies. It needs only your silence, your consent, your surrender. But the first prison is always the mind. If you want to break free, you must detox from the worship of her image. You must refuse the scripts, the roles, the lies you were taught. How? Start by confronting the programming. Stop seeking validation. Stop waiting to be chosen. Stop apologizing for being a man. Reclaim your mission, the thing that gives your life direction, purpose, fire. You are not here to orbit her world. You are here to build your own. Your brothers, your tribe, your purpose. These are your foundation. Escape the matriarchy, not by hating women, but by loving yourself enough to refuse the cage. Weininger taught that only free men can love. Only free men can lead. Only free men can live. This is where it ends and begins. The world does not need more followers, more fans, more worshippers of the feminine image. It needs lions. It needs men who have broken the spell, smashed the idol, and reclaimed their throne. Otto Weininger's message is not one of despair, but of rebirth. Masculinity is not dead. It is dormant, waiting for you to wake up, to rise, to build a new code. The way of the lion is simple, but not easy. It means creating, not consuming. Leading, not following. Building, not begging. It means discipline, courage, and ruthless honesty. It means holding yourself and others to the highest standard. You do not owe the world your apology. You owe it your greatness. You do not exist to validate her image. You exist to forge your own. The cult of feminine narcissism is powerful, but it cannot stand against men who have found their fire. Brothers, this is the call. Reject the cult. Embrace your mission. Build your fortress. Live with honor, courage, and unbreakable will. Let the world burn in its own lies. You build something eternal. The age of the lion begins now. If you found value in this message, take a moment to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more men who need to hear the truth.